focus. Ideate, innovate, enable.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Luxury of Poverty. I'm your host A.B. Ravi. This series is all about bringing to you stories that give you hope and confidence that you too can make it big in the world of business. In fact, my guest Dr. A. Velumani, founder of Thyrocare Technologies, is a living example of that. Dr. Velumani was born into poverty, but that did not stop him from being ambitious and thinking big. So he brings to table his real-life experience while decoding the success mantras of entrepreneurs featured in this series. And that value addition is what makes the episode even more interesting. With that, let me turn my focus to the hero of this week's episode. Over the last 6 weeks, we have featured some very interesting rag to riches story. But this one is different. It will give anyone goosebumps. At age 60, when everybody is guarded about the health, K Chittilappilly, without batting his eyelid, donated one of his kidney to an unknown truck driver. If that story leaves you speechless, then you'll find this journey into the world of business equally fascinating. He adopted unique strategy to grow his company, V-Guard. Today, V-Guard is a leading brand in household appliances and stabilizer. Take a look at V-Guard's story. It will set you thinking.
If we can control our thoughts, we can control our minds. And if we can control our minds, we can control our lives. Well, this interesting quote finds mention in a book titled Practical Wisdom, penned by K Chittilappilly, the man who built successful companies like V-Guard and Entrepreneurial. Interestingly, Chittilappilly seems to have mastered the art of controlling his thoughts, mind and life. And it shows. For instance, despite huge family disapproval, he donated one of his kidneys at the age of 60 to an unknown person. This exceptional act of sacrifice was in line with his conviction in his business too. This first-generation entrepreneur who has built a tidy fortune had a humble beginning. To hark back in time, after his post-graduation in physics from St. Thomas College in Thrissur, Kerala, the 25-year-old K joined a local firm that made voltage stabilizers in 1973. But the firm closed down abruptly. Instead of finding another job, K saw a great business opportunity in making voltage stabilizers, as power fluctuation was a major problem in Kerala. With 1 lakh rupees borrowed from his father, K set up V-Guard Industries in a small room in Kochi in 1977 with just 2 employees. It was a humble beginning, with the company making 50 voltage stabilizers a month. The initial few years were smooth, but in 1984, it confronted its first major challenge in the form of a labor problem, and this seemed like the end of the road for K. But a chance meeting with a priest of a local church changed his destiny. He hit upon the novel idea of outsourcing the manufacturing of voltage stabilizers to small-scale units run under the supervision of the church. This move helped V-Guard to make progress from a single product company in 1992 to manufacturing a range of products by 2006. But the biggest turning point for the company was K eldest son, K Chittilappilly, joining the company in 2006 as executive director. Mithun, an MBA from the University of Melbourne, had short stints at Deloitte and Hewlett-Packard before joining the family business. He led from the front. In 2008, the management decided to go for an IPO, but it coincided with the Lehman Brothers crisis and institutional investors stayed away. While the IPO did sail through with retail support, it made Mithun realize that the company has to grow at 25% plus rates if it had to reach anywhere close to its competitors. Mithun took up the challenge. He made fundamental changes within the company. To start with, he built a network of 638 distributors, 5,742 dealers and about 20,000 retailers across 29 states. This de-risking strategy helped, Today, V-Guard derives 34% of its revenues from non-South markets. The share of southern markets has come down to 66% as compared to 90% when Mithun entered the scene. V-Guard is firing on all cylinders. It sells over 2.5 lakh voltage stabilizers a month. Besides, it has expanded its product range by manufacturing UPS systems, house wiring cables, LT cables, pumps, electric and solar water heaters, fans, kitchen appliances and switchgears. This wide range of offerings has helped the company to shore up its top line and bottom line. In the last decade, the company's top line has grown almost 9 times, from 210 crore rupees in FY 2007 to 1,850 crore rupees in FY 2016, while its bottom line has grown 8 times, from 13.50 crore rupees to 112 crore rupees during the same period. This growth is reflected in the stock market too. This counter is trading heavily. Witness this. The company's market cap has risen almost 34 times, from 220 crore rupees in March 2008 to around 7,500 crore rupees as of March 2017. Clearly, investors are laughing their way to the bank. In essence, K Chittilappilly, the man who has mastered the art of controlling his thoughts, mind and life, has indeed walked the talk. Today, V-Guard Industries is a household name that has put a smile on the face of its investors.
I used to say there is no shortcut for success, no shortcut. There must be a strict quality consciousness, strict straightforward attitude, and a long-term vision. These are all quite important for a long-term success. Otherwise, you can achieve a short-term success, but it may not last long.
Dr. Veluni, welcome to the show.
Hello.
What's your first impression looking at this AV on K Chittilappilly and on the company V-Guard?
As an entrepreneur, like some of those entrepreneurs we have earlier discussed, he also has not started with the pomp and show.
Yeah.
Very humble
Yeah.
way of beginning. He must have traveled in the public transport for the first 10 years of his business.
True.
And then you make money, and then in the journey he found obstacles, and it is amazing for him to have thought why to make it in a centralized place with a huge employee count when it can be fractionated and given to somebody else to make and get it outsourced.
Yeah.
That was a very intelligent idea. Probably without that idea this business could have not reached to this stage. And then a product, I think he was lucky to be there when India was opening up for a refrigerator and television.
Okay.
If you notice it, there was both the things were missing before 1980.
True.
And he starts a business when this finds entry into each and every household. And you know, in India the power is having its own challenges.
Fluctuation and deficit, both are there.
Without a V-Guard, without a stabilizer, it was not possible. And a stabilizer cannot cost half of the gadget. It has to be 1/10 of the gadget.
True. Yeah.
So I think he was lucky to think it in the right time and probably worked out a cost and then scaled up a volume and then build his business profits only after getting the volumes.
Okay, he went for the volume initially.
Volume initially. Otherwise, the product will not get into the household. People will risk the gadget, will not protect the gadget.
So pricing was very important.
Pricing was very important. And in those days, in that market, I don't think many players were there.
Yeah.
If at all there were players, they might have been quite small and unorganized. And I think in entire South, he was pretty dominant in Kerala and Tamil Nadu for a pretty long period. Then only I think the next generation has put it at a national map. So I think it was a good journey, a long journey. It's a true marathon. Like what he says, if success comes fast, it goes away fast. If it takes time to come, it remains for long. I think that's also very important. People need to understand success will never come overnight.
Well, as Mr. Chittilappilly says, businesses have to be built on the foundation of long-term vision. Only then it is possible to have a sustainable growth model. On that note, we need to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we will take a look at how V-Guard came into being. Stay tuned. Welcome back. What's fascinating about Mr. Chittilappilly is that after working for 3 years, he decided to become an entrepreneur. So what gave him the confidence to take that bold step? Let's listen into the man himself.
While I was studying in school as well as college, I never thought about becoming an industrialist. My ambition was to become a scientist because I had an aptitude towards technology. But fortunately or unfortunately, I couldn't get a good job, say like in ISRO or BARC. I got a very small job, a supervisor trainee in a very small company, a small scale industry. I opted that job, and from there I got a lot of experience. I was there for around 3 years. So I got a lot of experience, and since I am a postgraduate, those people, they put me into their R&D division. That also helped me a lot. So I could learn a lot about the technology and the industry. So later on, that company was not doing well, and I couldn't get a better job. That time my ambition was to earn a little more, better than the salary which I was earning in the previous period. So that is the motivation in the initial stages. So I started manufacturing stabilizers. So I asked my father to support me. So he helped me giving around 1 lakh rupee in 2 stages.
Dr. Velman, very interesting about this man. He wanted to be a scientist. He wanted to join BRC or ISRO. But that did not happen. So he took up a job. Once he took up a job, that did not take him anywhere. So he decided to get into manufacturing stabilizer. Do you think it's a business acumen, or he was destined to become a businessman? Had he been a scientist, he wouldn't have become an industrialist.
He knows what is physics, what is stabilizer, and what are the components in it, and what is the cost of it, and what is its market value. I think he saw a business while working, and
so he found a gap in the market.
He found a gap in the market, and he felt that he can do that better than someone else, and he started it. I think a good number of entrepreneurs are like that. They see while working something which is commercially successfully possible. Just get into it.
V-Guard story is getting interesting. In the initial stage, everything was going smoothly. But in 1984, the company was hit by a labor problem that pushed it to the brink of closure. So how did Mr. Chittilappilly overcome that hurdle in a state known for labor militancy? Let's find out.
After starting 6 or 7 years, we also had a labor problem. Just like, as you know, Kerala is very famous for labor problems. We also had the same thing in 1984-85 period. So my difficulty was we had good demand for our products from the market. At the same time, because of the union and the strike, we were not able to produce enough quantity. So finally, I got an idea of getting it manufactured through vendors. That means subcontracting our production through charitable societies, especially in rural areas. So I tried as a sample 1 unit in one place, and that was successful. We will arrange, we will guide them how to procure all the raw materials. We will decide how to which are the components they have to procure. We will send our engineers to supervise. So that's way we were able to produce good quality products just like in our own factory. So that was a success story, and we adopted the same story to different manufacturing units. Now I think V-Guard is having a good percentage of production through vendor system.
V-Guard would have been finished for the labor problem, but I think he's out of box thinking of approaching the church to outsource the product. Perhaps saw him growing from strength to strength. He thought about outsourcing even before it became fashionable. So your comment on that?
I think all business houses have some kind of outsourcing.
Yeah.
And it's based upon comfort and convenience. He happened to hit a roadblock, and then he felt the way out is even giving more responsibilities outside and getting it done. Today, big multinational companies, for your kind information, do not manufacture anything. To get it, yes, because the getting it outsourced in a less organized industry is cheaper. That is happening globally, and I am not surprised that he thought about it much earlier.
Yeah.
But every businessman should do. Why not I use the resources which are locally available and they are underutilized? Each and every house there are 1.5 men sitting with no work. He has identified.
Correct.
In fact, you can collect 2-3 families together and put a unit. They will be able to produce it very powerfully.
So in a way, he has also created a lot of micro entrepreneurs and also generated employment.
I think
his outsourcing model.
those who remain as a single entrepreneur have limited success. Those who have created multiple back-end entrepreneurs become very successful.
Well, outsourcing not only solved labor problems, but also helped V-Guard grow from strength to strength. On that note, it's time for another short commercial break. When we come back, we will look at how V-Guard grew from a single state of Kerala to have pan-India presence. Stay tuned. Welcome back. In 2006, Mr. Chittilappilly's eldest son, Mithun, after completing his education and short stints abroad, joined the family business. His entry transformed the company. It was his idea to have a pan-India presence. Let's hear Mithun, who is in the driver's seat today.
In 2006, we had a very skeletal operation outside of South. In fact, if you look at the numbers, maybe only 2% of our revenues were coming from outside South. So that was the kind of geographic concentration we had. And the good thing was we were extremely focused, and we could do things better here. The issue was that we were affected by seasonalities and fluctuations in a particular market because we were only present in 4 of them. I think now we are getting roughly 1/3 of our revenues from non-South. So this helps us to even out seasonality. With being a pan-Indian company, now we are able to run our plants probably more closer to full capacity than fluctuating our production. So that is one of the reasons. Second thing is, of course, we always had an ambition to go national, but really did not take that task very seriously up until 2008. So last 8 years, we have done a phenomenal job there.
Well, the change of guard seems to have the desired effect. Father started the business, the son took it to the next level. Succession planning. Your views on that?
I think succession planning is very essential in any business, provided the children have no interest in this business. Good number of children say that I will follow my interests. That's a very big blow to the parents.
Yeah.
But if children say that I want to expand this business, that's a very good thing happening, and succession problems are all sorted out. An young man, a family man, and who knows the business, and he is going to take it ahead. I think this is the best thing in any family it can happen.
Okay.
But having said that, if the business is too big in a size, the next generation cannot handle it, because it's a grown-up buffalo. You need to have a professional team, and there you need to give respect to the professional team to sit and run the business. That is another succession when the family has limitations in handling it. But the growth which he says, going pan-India, is de-risking. Many people think that going all over the country and doing business is risk.
Or over-leveraging.
It is de-risking because if any problem is in Kerala, still Himachal or Karnataka or Orissa will continue to do the business. So when you have a pan-India business, your business is very stable. When you have business in one state, one locality, in one factory, in one particular location, you are at a higher risk. I think the next generation has understood it. They have made multiple manufacturing units and all over the country establish it. I think that is something is not a succession plan alone, a succession as well as taking it to the next orbit.
So what are the key takeaways for budding entrepreneurs from V-Guard's story?
I have been telling, and I want to repeat, business is not an overnight success. It takes 20, 30, 40 years. If I look at the father, he has toiled for 35, 40 years.
Yeah.
So now the son has come into picture. I want to tell all new entrepreneurs, look, failures will be there, lockouts will be there, and product ban even could come into picture, and every challenge would be there, but everything has a solution. I think one should never give up. I think that is the only wish or advice I give to entrepreneurs. Don't hit the quit button.
Okay.
Remain persuading. It becomes very powerful. It cannot give is human.
Very well put, Dr. Velimani. What impressed me about Mr. Chittilappilly is his risk-taking ability and out-of-box thinking, be it in his personal life or business. Clearly, he has combined the spirit of entrepreneurship with the art of giving without making much noise about it. On that note, it is time to say goodbye. See you next week with another interesting episode. Till then, keep watching CNBC TV 18.
Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.